Welcome to P3, I'm Randall Mark. This is the show that explores the fascinating people, places, and perspectives that make up our world. On today's show, we take you halfway around the world to an exciting tour of one of the most holy places on our planet, the city of Jerusalem. This is P3. P3 was recently invited by Canadian Friends of the Hebrew University of Jerusalem to Israel. While there, Dr. Noam Shoval, the head of the university's geography department, took me on an incredible tour of the city of Jerusalem. Holy to three of the world's great religions, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, this sprawling ancient metropolis is loaded with history and intrigue. Dr. Shoval and I began our journey on the historical Mount of Olives, overlooking Jerusalem's city of David, Garden of Gethsemane, Temple Mount, and the Old City. Dr. Shoval, we're in one of the most holy places on the earth. Three great world religions say that this area, this particular area that we're looking at, is the most sacred place. We are standing on the Mount of Olives. Explain the significance of this exact place.
This place have a very important meanings in the apocalypse, in the days where Jesus Christ will return, or the Jewish Messiah, or when the Muslims will have their version of end of days. Mount of Olives is a place where everything will begin. Messiah will come, descend with his white donkey to the old city.
So
from
down,
this place.
down this, from this place,
yes,
into
exactly.
the old city that we see over there
exactly,
in the old...
to the old city.
Yeah, right.
And through this, you can see here this very big Jewish graveyard. And you can see also a Muslim graveyard on the other side that was, I would say practically it was built here because it is very close to the old city, but the legends say that it was, Muslims are buried here in order to deny the access to the Jewish Messiah, which is from priestly origin and cannot walk
on the graves.
In a graveyard. But as you know, there are some modern technologies to overcome.
If we'll get
to this,
you could take a helicopter.
yes,
the Messiah could get back to the.
Yes.
Now explain. Obviously, we have the Dome of the Rock. There's a very typical scene here that we're looking at.
Yeah.
What is the significance quickly of that area particularly?
Today, this is the third holiest shrine to Islam, but the most holiest place to the Jewish people. Although most of the Jewish people are not allowed to come and walk in this mountain, not because of the Islamic authorities, but because of the Jewish belief. It's not allowed to walk where the Holy of Holiness was, in the temple. So just priests can enter this area. So today, the confrontation, we have confrontation, but it's not, most of the Jews are not climbing into the mountain. And the Western Wall is on the other side. On the western side, you can see here the eastern wall and the southern wall of this big compound that was built by Herod. And if you look to the two great domes, those are the domes of the Holy Sepulchre.
And what's significant about that for the Christian religion?
According to the Catholic, Orthodox, and aside of the Protestant, this is a place where the Via Dolorosa ends, where Jesus was crucified, and we have there. We have the last 6 stations of the Via Dolorosa inside the church itself. So naturally, in the land, in the Holy Land, this is the place.
What we're looking at here is really, there's nothing like it on the planet, where you have such the compactness of it, and you have this blending of these three religions that have held millions and billions of people throughout history, and in a sense centers right in this area that we're looking at.
Exactly. But we have also some kind of a Canadian connection here.
Okay.
You see the church with the golden, the Russian church, the Orthodox church. We have there a queen that is buried.
Oh.
Do you know which queen?
No, tell me about this.
Okay, she was the Queen of Greece, and in fact the mother of the Duke of Edinburgh, that is married to Queen Elizabeth. That at least officially have some kind of...
and she's buried there?
The mother-in-law of Queen Elizabeth is buried in this church. After the revolution in Greece, she became a Greek nun and decided to, when she died, to be buried in Jerusalem in this Maria Magdalena church just above Gethsemane.
Wow. And again,
looking over here to the left of the old city, you have the city of David.
Exactly.
This is the oldest place that people
Yes.
have lived, 4,000 years old?
Exactly. It's almost 4,000. It's 3,800 years. Almost like the history of Canada, I assume. Or I mean, the modern.
A little bit
Yeah,
older than
yeah,
Canada.
Yeah, I mean, at least the documented history of Canada is younger. I mean, Canada was there before,
Sure, yeah.
but so we're talking about a city, Canaanite city, from at least 3,800 years old, located in this specific area because of the spring, the Gihon spring, which was, of course, the reason why the city was built right here. And later on, in Hellenistic period, Roman period, when aqueducts were available, the city moved up to more convenient locations. Look around and try to think why Jerusalem was built here. I mean, the city is so important. I mean, there is nothing here, basically.
Right,
you don't see
water,
any harbor.
Yeah.
It's not even on the main way, neither the Via Maris on the coastal area between Damascus and Cairo. It's not even in the Transjordan, you know, the spice route. It's basically nowhere, but so many troubles. And why are you doing? I mean, what are you doing here?
Yeah. What are you fighting over something that seems
Exactly. So the issue is a political issue, and this is why I was thinking a little bit about the city of David. Basically, when King David decided to build his capital, he was the king of Judah, the tribe of Judah, and then he became the king of all the tribes of Israel. He decided to choose a neutral city, a city that was between the south, dominated by the tribe of Judah, and the rest of the tribes north to Jerusalem. So he chose a place in the middle. Okay, it's like maybe Ottawa, or maybe Brasilia, or Canberra, a city with no economic significance, but a city, or like Washington, D.C., a city that can be a place that will unite, exactly, a hub between the main real economic concentrations of the country. And because of this decision, we are in the deep problem today.
Up next on P3, we go behind the walls of the old city of Jerusalem and visit the place where many believe Jesus was crucified, buried, and resurrected.